From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina Navidad. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's disappointed U.S. President Donald Trump increased tariffs on some Canadian goods to 35%. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe shared the same sentiment, but says Carney should start removing counter tariffs in order to get a deal done.
The reason we will be urging for a reduction of counter tariffs is one is that they hurt Saskatchewan and Canadians, our families and our businesses and our places of work. In the same way that Donald Trump's tariffs are pushing up the cost of doing business in the U.S.
Meanwhile, Canadian business groups say no deal is better than a bad deal with the U.S.
The Canadian Chamber of Commerce says businesses in Canada and the U.S. urgently need more certainty. The lack of resolution has left companies unsure whether they need to scale back operations or lay off staff. The White House has said the tariffs would not affect goods compliant with the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade. Naira Ahmed, The Canadian Press.
The federal government insists it has not sent lethal weapons to Israel. A recent report stated that Israeli customs data indicates Canadian arms are still being exported there regularly, but Ottawa is calling this report flawed. Canadian aid agencies say malnutrition and starvation is rampant among children in the Gaza Strip. Reporter Ian Pannell says international experts have warned a worst-case scenario of famine is playing out in the Palestinian territory.
Hundreds of Palestinians desperate for food met by gunfire.
It's kids, it's children.
Bullets hitting the ground just feet away. UN aid workers saying Israeli troops opened fire.
Don't do this.
Undeterred, the crowd suddenly rushing the convoy, grabbing food before it can be safely distributed.
Israel's military offensive against Hamas has made it nearly impossible to safely deliver food to starving people in the territory. An evacuation order has been lifted for all residents who were recently chased out by a wildfire near Peachland, BC. Local authorities say the remaining 118 addresses on the last evacuation order are now cleared, as the blaze is no longer out of control, but residents must be ready to leave again quickly. Wildfire smoke is blanketing much of Manitoba as the province deals with more than 130 active blazes. Smoke from fires is also lingering over northwestern Ontario. The latest NASA SpaceX mission is off the launch pad.
With clouds beginning to build again off the central Florida coast, the countdown continued until at 11:43 Eastern Time.
2, 1, ignition.
The crew of 4 is headed to the International Space Station for science experiments, technology demonstrations, and preparations for eventual deep space exploration. That crew will be aboard the ISS when the orbiting laboratory celebrates 25 years of uninterrupted human occupancy. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Hockey Canada has summoned 42 NHL players, 30 women and 17 para-hockey players to an Olympic orientation camp in Calgary later this month. It's said to be the first step toward the goal of Canada winning Olympic men's and women's hockey gold and Paralympic gold in Italy next February. Canada's Gabriel Diallo takes on second seed Taylor Fritz of the U.S. in the third round of the Men's National Bank Open in Toronto today. The American League East leading Toronto Blue Jays host the Kansas City Royals in a 3-game set starting tonight. And tonight's CFL game in Winnipeg between the Blue Bombers and the Toronto Argonauts is still scheduled for 7:30 p.m. local time, despite poor air quality in the area. Forest fire smoke from northern Saskatchewan and Manitoba has drifted into Winnipeg. The CFL says air quality is expected to improve over the course of the day. From the Canadian Press, I'm Brenda Molina Navidad.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.